Yes. Welcome to Port International Marketing Symposium 2025. It's a big honor to host all respected speakers, participants, and listeners today. Under the auspices of Rector of Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University, Professor Dr. Mümin Şahin, Faculty of Economics and Administrative Science, and partnership with New Delhi Institute of Management, Fourth International Symposium on Marketing starts on today. I would like to thank Rector of Tekirdağ Namık Kemal University, Professor Dr. Mümin Şahin, Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business Administrative Sciences, Professor Dr. Rasim Yılmaz, and Head of Department of Business Administration, Professor Dr. Ahmad Kubaş, for this opportunity, and special thanks to New Delhi Institute of Management and Associate Professor Dr. Samriti Mahajan for their great international collaboration. Now I want to invite Dr. Firdous Ahmed Malik from University of People for his opening speech. Yes, your turn, Professor.
Thank you very much. Good morning, esteemed professors, distinguished scholars, respected participants joining us across the world. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my warm greetings on the occasion of 4th Marketing Symposium. Standing among such brilliant minds, each contributing unique insights and experiences, reminds me Maya Angelou's words. He rightly said that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. This year's symposium themed Sustainability in the Age of AI, Building Regenerative Economics for a Greener Future, and Humans Centered Leadership in Tech Driven Era, addressing two of the most defining narratives of our times. As Peter Drucker wisely observed, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Our gathering today is a testament to that spirit, that we are coming together not just to witness change, but to shape it innovatively and ethically. Marketing today is more than promoting products and services. It is, as Philip Kotler stated once, the art of meaningful exchange. Our mission is to inspire values, drive positive change, and creative social impact. The rise of AI and ongoing digital transformation and the shift towards sustainability driven consumer choices are fundamentally altering every dimension of business and society. In the words of Satya Nadella, design AI that amplifies human ingenuity while centering its trust and responsibility. Our challenge extends beyond adaptation. It is to lead with creativity and responsibility. You will know Harry, he once questioned in a world deluged by irrelevant information. Clarity is power. As scholars and practitioners, let us anchor our efforts in empathy, ethics, and inclusivity, ensuring that innovation serves people and preserves our planet Earth. So I wish to express my deep appreciation to organizers, especially Professor Dr. Seda and the entire academic community for their vision and dedication. Over the next 2 days, we will be engaging with eminent thought leaders who will be addressing topics from digital marketing, ethics, to AI driven branding and sustainable models. Together, we embody the collaborative ethos. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only one thing that ever has. So this symposium stands as a reminder that progress is always a collective journey. In the words of Henry Keller, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Let us commit ourselves to the discussions that not only advance understanding but also uplift the community, set a word a sustainable future. May our conversation today sow the seeds of the ideas that will help us to build more equitable, innovative and global future. I wish all the participants an intellectually stimulating and engaging experience. I am thanking with all for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I will invite Professor Dr. Hebatallah Adam. I think she is here, yes. She is from Jindal School of International Affairs. Professor Hebatallah. Hi.
Hi, thank you, Professor Seda, for inviting me for this important conference, the fourth marketing synopsis. And actually, as an economist, I will share today my insights on entrepreneurship and women's struggles, especially in the global south. So if you allow me, I would like to share my PowerPoint, so then we can start. I hope it is
Yes.
visible.
Yes, it is visible. Yes.
Okay. So before starting sharing my insights, I would like to welcome all our esteemed colleagues and distinguished guests who have joined us online today. And as I have mentioned, I'm gonna explore in next coming slides and minutes my thoughts on entrepreneurship and from an intersectional lens with respect of women in the global south, and particularly I will share examples from Africa. So first of all, I will start by briefly explaining the concept of intersectionality. So intersectionality actually is a multidimensional concept that includes different aspects of inequities in any societies. Like, for example, we have gender, class, geography. All these layers of inequities intersect, and they have impact on women, marginalized communities, indigenous people who are living in each and every community. And speaking about women, so women, for example, women entrepreneur in Kenya, they don't just face gender bias, but also they navigate different constraints, including class, geography, or they are living in urban or rural area, sometimes also social expectation, especially that most of them they work in uninformal market conditions. In the global south, all these factors they reinforce each other. All these layers of discrimination that our societies are facing, or people in our societies are facing, they reinforce each other, explaining why it is difficult to implement identical programs for all people, or for all category of people. And here, as we are focusing on women, so we cannot apply the same kind of program for women empowerment and we expect that everyone will get equal share of the benefits of such kind of programs. So definitely some categories of women will be excluded. So entrepreneurship here is both economic and representing both economic and social justice, because if we will not include in our program, or governments will not include in their entrepreneurship women empowerment programs the specific needs of women in different regions or under different class or ethnicity. So definitely some of the women will be, or a good share of women in different societies in the global south will be excluded. So here now let's move to, since I have been mentioning the global south, what is the realities that global south is facing. So we know that the global south in Asia, Latin America, in Africa is the home to enormous entrepreneurial strategy, especially in energy sector. But unfortunately, that most of them is operating in the informal sector, especially women. Most of them, they are working in the informal, under conditions of the informal sector. So it's because it is difficult for them or for women in global south to start business out of patriarchal societies, conditions, and limited number of jobs that are available, and weak infrastructure. So it is difficult for women to travel for long distance to work in urban area, for example, and volatile market conditions. So women here, they are facing real struggles in the global south, and it is important to rethink that entire ecosystem of women empowerment and entrepreneurship programs for women in the global south, as the entire system, including regulations, market regulations, finance, social norms, they all need to be rethought in order to really empower women and include all category of people in the society from that intersectional lens that I have mentioned in the first slide. So all these dynamics that I have mentioned can also be intertwined with political and economic systems. So what we notice that the economic and political context is profoundly shaping women's experience in the global south, especially when it comes with respect of entrepreneurship. So strong governance and gender equality, if it is prioritized in any society, so definitely we will find that in this society there will be a greater women's participation. Conversely, on the other hand, if we have weak governance, complex access to markets, difficulty in getting licensing, or of course bureaucratic corruption, all this will limit growth and hinder the access of women to market and to their economic participation share will be definitely less. So even sometimes policies that may appear neutral for everyone or in any society, like for example trade or tax, applied tax regimes, so sometimes they can have gendered effects. So that's why it's important to have enough data about the society and to know the different categories of people we have, and to have enough clusters data about women and marginalized communities in any society, so we'll be able to implement the best policies to assist them. So reforming entrepreneurship definitely requires institutional and regulatory change, not just that talk that usually we are discussing, saying that we need to increase the access to credit or to training or to create more jobs. The problem is actually more deep and requires more work from the side of governments in the global south. So here, this is the general economic and political dimensions, but also we do have another layer of challenges that women are facing, which is culture and structure barriers to women empowerment. So culture and structure jointly, they can constrain women's agency in any society. Entrepreneurship is still seen in most of societies, even in global north, not in all countries, but still is seen as a masculine activity. So while women role in societies is still tied to caregiving. So this is the general norms we have as a culture. Also, there are challenges related to mobility, networks, decision making remain also restricted to women in many of the societies in the global south. Beyond culture, we have the structure challenges, which include exclusion from land ownership, barriers to women to get sufficient collateral and legal protection, also to get access to finance, the points that we have been mentioned before. So all these barriers, they are not individual failures, but they represent more of systematic inequities that require a community engagements, a collateral community engagement, a complete legal reform, and of course to have inclusive perspective in our government strategies and also in our education system. Now let's move to the case of Africa and see the context there, how it is for women entrepreneurship. So Africa actually offers a vivid case of intersectionality. So over 70% of informal cross-border traders in Africa, they are women. They are trading food, textile, essentials that remain, of course, providing essential goods to sustaining millions of people there. But despite that, the major role that women are playing in African market, they face lots of struggles. So they face harassment, arbitrary fees, lack of security, and of course, most importantly, of recognition. So despite their contribution, despite the African women contribution, they remain also invisible in in trade statistics, and they are underrepresented in major trade agreements like the African Continental Free Trade Framework. So how does this is leading us to the second point or the coming point. How does intersectionality help us to understand the experience of women in Africa? So in Africa, intersectionality manifests through the overlapping disadvantages that women are facing there. So we have the first discrimination or inequities is the gender and class, minimal working capital, dependence on informal saving, geography and gender, poor infrastructure and high transaction costs, and of course transportation costs, because many of the African continents, they are landlocked economies or countries. So women, they need to travel to neighboring countries to sell there or to get their the products that they will sell. And again, this is putting lots of challenges for them, as transportation cost is difficult because infrastructure and roads, they are not feasible and they are not helping them for fast transportation. Also, we have the gender and legal status, lack of licenses, no social protection, and of course, they are not able to get access to formal markets similar to men. Or equally to men. Gender security, as I've mentioned before, harassment at borders, unsafe trading conditions. So all this is, of course, is putting lots of challenges that African women are facing, especially that are working in the trade sector. So, but the good thing is in the African experience is that women, they are not passive. They are organizing for change. And in Africa, we can find that across Africa, there are women's cooperatives and social enterprises that they have succeeded to pool resources and increase the bargaining power of women in the market. So they offer economic opportunity and political voice for women, advocating for fair customs practice and safe border environment to empower women traders. So that kind of collective action that women in Africa has succeeded to implement is actually helping them in shifting their status from being participants in trade to shapers of its governance. So now let's move to the what lessons that we can be inspired of that kind of social inclusion that African women have adopted. So social enterprises merge profit with purpose, enabling women to build businesses, also to serve their communities. They bridge that informal to formal sectors, and of course they are helping women to move towards a much more sustainable entrepreneurship and business environment, and to have a real status and social transformation. So all this, of course, is can be helping us as to frame what kind of policy gap in Africa, for especially with respect to trade, and so most of the African trade frameworks remain gender neutral, unfortunately, and of course this have negative impact and can lead to more deepening the inequalities in Africa. Women's voices are absent in trade data and policy processes, as I've mentioned, for the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So women, they are, or women rights and women equality problems, they are not represented in under that framework. So actually here it's a bit challenges, and what we need is to have a kind of gender responsive budgeting and representation at every level of government strategies in Africa. So let's move toward the let's say the end of this point of what kind of policies we need to implement. So intersectional policy reframes women from beneficiaries to central economic actors. So we need to have in all our economic, political, social policies and intersectional lens. So, for example, first of all, we need to simplify licensing to implement gender-sensitive finance and institutionalize women's associations. Policies must bridge also trade, gender, and finance. And of course, all this will be important to create an environment which is can be women-friendly and to assist women traders in such kind of harsh conditions in African countries. Now moving to the financial inclusion and innovative models. So finance, of course, definitely is very important for any entrepreneur, and it can be an opportunity, and it can be also a constraint. So women, they need to have much more access to finance and to be included in the financial schemes that are presented to entrepreneur or entrepreneurship programs in Global South in general, and specifically in our case of Africa. So we need to focus more on mobile banking, fintech, because all this will enable women to save and also to borrow securely without depending on the collateral that we have in the traditional banking schemes. But unfortunately here is that in many of societies in the Global South, women face another here challenge, which is literacy, and they are low skilled, and they don't know how to use such kind of advanced maybe mobile techniques or mobile banking. So here again, it becomes also the responsibility of governments to educate women and to invest in financial literacy and mentorship to make sure that their experience will be success. So now let's move to the point which is very important related to the research and policy. So we need to, as I've mentioned, we don't have enough data of the intersectional problems that different societies are facing, because we need this kind of data to shape our strategies and policies. Here I speak about governments. So we need intersectional data that captures how gender intersects with class and geography, income inequality, ethnicity, different layers of inequities in any societies. Also here it comes the role of universities and the think tanks. They can all co-produce and work together on research with along with women cooperatives and women communities and NGOs to know in what kind of problems they face, and of course they can provide recommendations for solutions that can be represented later on to governments as an outcome of such kind of research. So the last point here is that we need also to go beyond our borders and to foster the South-South cooperation, because this can help to scale inclusive models. And we can, of course, by sharing, we can learn from each other's, and of course, here we can have capacity building programs and knowledge sharing between countries in the Global South. So now let's conclude here is that intersectionality shifts empowerment from individual success to systematic transformation. It is very important to implement the intersectional lens in our different governments programs, and because here it can help us to sustain and to help women specifically to be empowered in their societies. So our role as scholars and policymakers is to turn empowerment from rhetoric to a real reform. And I believe that more research should be done on in that specific topic of intersectionality, because it can help our society to be more inclusive and sustainable. Thank you for your attention, and it was really a great honor to join you all today. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. It is important issue. Thanks for your sharing your presentation also. I hope 2030 Sustainable Development Goals can achieve women's rights and women's equality in every kinds of area. I hope, because it seems so hard to achieve all women's rights in every issue. Thanks again. I will invite Associate Professor Dr. Samriti Mahajan from New Delhi Institute of Management. She is also an international member of Organizing Committee and Collaboration. I think she's here.
Yes. Hi, good morning. I am here.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, Samriti.
Yes. Let me just share my screen.
Yes, you
I
can
have
share.
a small presentation. I won't take more than like 10 minutes because we have our auditing going on. So give me a minute.
Hello. Morning, doctor. क्या इसमें मैं कल तुम्हारा presentation था वहाँ पे जयपुर वाले में हाँ
Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. So, first of all, to start with, I would good morning to all the distinguished guests, respected faculty members, and all industry experts, research scholars, and students who are there. So, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to this prestigious symposium, which has been organized in partnership with TNK University, an institution known for its academic excellence and global collaborations and commitment to innovation. And I would further like to heartfelt thank you to the rector of TNK, Professor Dr. Momin Sahin, Dean of Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences, Professor Dr. Rasim, Chief of Department of Business Administration, Professor Dr. Ahmad Khabas, and Professor Seda and Dr. Valentine, and the organizing committee members, Professor Dr. Seda, who has been such a motivator for me to collaborate, to partnership into the symposium and bring us such a effortlessly presentations among us. Further moving on to Associate Professor Dr. Senes. So thank you all for collaborating with New Delhi Institute of Management and bringing up such a nice symposium, which is 4th International Marketing Symposium. So for today, the topic which I have chosen, that is the sustainability in the age of AI and how building regenerative economics for a greener future, that we talk about, that we need to create our environment sustainable, right? But what we think in actual about the sustainability, how the greener future is going to look alike in, right? Yes. So when we talk about AI, so AI is all about artificial intelligence, right? In reshaping how we approach the environmental challenges, how we are offering unpredicted manners, opportunities while introducing new sustainable concerns that demand our attention. There has been many opportunities and challenges we have been facing. When we talk about the different challenges, so AI infrastructure consumes significant energy and resources. There are many training large modules, which generate the sustainable carbon emissions. There are e-waste from specialized hardware acceleration. And even then, we are not able to balance the innovation with our environmental responsibility. So these are the few of the challenges. And when we talk about the positive scenario of the sustainability with AI intersection, so we discuss about the optimization features, that how we are going to optimize the energy by reducing it, how we can predict the climate when we talk about green finance, about climate. So how we are going to enhance the accuracy of that, and further moving on, how we are going to accelerate the clean energy transition through smart systems. And we need to enable these all prediction or all precision agriculture of resource conservation for building a sustainable environment for our human mankind, right? So when we think about the regenerative economics, which is totally a new paradigm, right? So we talk about three different aspects that involve circular system, holistic value, and the adaptive resilience. Circular system, when we discuss, so it is more about the design closed loop process. It starts from one end till end and hold the process that needs to eliminate the waste, and it needs continuously to regenerate the new sources which are going to be more economic in coming situations. And when we talk about the second parameter, that is the holistic value, so it always measures the success beyond profit to include the environmental restoration and the social well-being of a human mankind. And the third point when we discuss, so that is adaptive resilience. It builds the systems that learn, evolve, and strengthen our ecosystem over time. So that we should be always concerned about, that whenever we are moving beyond the sustainability to create systems that actively restore and revitalize the natural world while driving economic prosperity. So how the AI powered solution transform industries? So there has been four different parameters, that is smart energy management, precision agriculture, climate modeling, and the fourth is the circular economy. When we talk about the first parameter, that is smart energy management, so how we need to predict the demand patterns, how we are going to reduce the grid inefficiencies. So by analyzing the millions of data points in real time, cutting energy waste up to by 30%, so that would be the smart energy management. Second is the precision agriculture. So that would be the machine learning algorithms monitors, which can monitor the soil health, how we can optimize the water usage, and how the fertilizers applications can be reduced. So by using these different technologies, we can help the farmers to increase the yield while minimizing the environmental impact and resource consumption. Third is the climate modeling. When we talk about advancing AI system process vast climate data sets to generate the accurate long-term predictions are there, right? So we need to enable the proactive adaptation strategies, which can combine or which can inform us through the critical policy decisions for climate resilience. And the fourth is circular economy. So driven platforms, they always track materials through supply chains, identify the recycling opportunities for us, and even match waste streams with manufacturing needs, creating truly circular production systems. So these 4 points will really transform the industries by coming into the position and taking the governance charge. And next, we talk about the carbon cost of AI innovation. These days, we always talk about that in coming years, we would be net zero carbon. But when we think of that, there is tons of CO2 there. We have data center energies, we have energy increasing, right? So how they are going to be work? So AI as a capability can expand, and it can does the environmental footprints also. So by understanding and addressing the AI's energy consumption is critical to build a sustainable future. So according to the study and according to a OECD report, we can see that 626 kiloton of CO2 emission from training a single large language model equivalent to 125 round trips flights from New York to Beijing is calculated. And if we talk about further, so that is there is 10 to 20% of data center energy, which has been projected or shared by global electricity consumption by 2030 if current AI growth trends continue to supply the things. And if we talk further about the carbon cost, so 3x energy is going to increase the computing power, which has been required for AI training, and it will double every 3.4 months, far outpacing efficiency improvements. These all has been studied and has been referred into several studies. So how we are going to make AI sustainable? So we need to think of some strategic approaches. So how? So first is the green infrastructure. Second would be effective algorithm. Third would be the specialized hardware. Fourth is carbon accounting. And fifth would be the federated learning. So when we talk about green infrastructure, so power data centers with 100% renewable energy can locate and facilitate in cool climates, right, to reduce the cooling demands of overall energy consumption. Second is efficient algorithms. So we need to develop a model which would be more relatable to the compression techniques. There would be pruning and quantization methods. So in India, we have almost started calculating the records for the same. The third would be we require some specialized hardware which can deploy the energy efficient chips, and they can be designed specifically for AI workload, and it can achieve 10 to 100x improvements in performance per watt, which would be compared to general purpose processors. And the carbon accounting, how it will work. So we need to have a comprehensive tracking system which can measure our AI carbon footprints. We always discuss so many of social AI footprints we are giving to the social media these days. But when we calculate what in actual we are doing, so we need to check all the entire life cycle from training to deployment and interference. And the fifth part was the federated learning, where we can train some models on distributed data without centralizing information, which is going to dramatically reduce data transfer energy and costs and enhance our privacy protection also. So there is a framework which we can think of. We can have our assess impact, that how much of footprints we are relieving. We should measure that, and then we need to identify some good opportunities. Second would be scale regenerative. So we need to expand the impact while restoring natural systems. Third would be the design solution by creating AI system with sustainability at the core. So that could be designed in such a manner that we can know what feasibility is actually required into the system. Fourth is deploy responsibly. So we need to implement with green infrastructure with efficient practices that are much more required into the ecosystem. And the fifth would next would be monitor and optimize. So we need to track our performances and continuously improve the efficiency. So this total cyclic framework ensures our continuous improvement with each iteration, strengthening both technological capabilities and the environmental outcomes. So there are few case studies. One is of Google Carbon Intelligent Computing. Second is IBM's Green Horizon Initiative, and third is the Microsoft AI for Earth program. So that they have been working on how the AI for sustainability and action can really work. So China has already started with a relation to IBM. Then how the water conservation can be done, and AI tools to 600 plus environmental projects worldwide has been enabling through Microsoft AI itself. So we need to study and we need to relate the concepts according to that. The path forward, we can look at some action points which we can do for organization and the policymakers. For organization, we can think of to conduct AI carbon audits should be there. We should invest in green AI R&D. Third would be we need to adopt renewable energy. And fourth would be to share our best practices where we can collaborate across the industries. And what for policymakers? For policymakers, we need to create AI sustainability standards where we can establish some clear guidelines and accountability of the framework. Second would be to incentivize the green AI by providing some tax benefits and grants for sustainable innovation. Third would be the mandate transparency, which requires some disclosure of AI energy consumption and emission. And the fourth point would be some fund research initiatives, which will automatically support the development of regenerative AI technologies. So this would be the path forward and some action items we can really help to create AI into sustainability. And how the future is now. So AI, you know, that holds extraordinary potential to accelerate our transition to a regenerative economy. So by embracing sustainable practices today, we can harness this transformative technology to restore our planet for our new upcoming generations, which can drive the innovation and a prosperity. So the question for everyone is whether we can afford to make AI sustainable. It's whether we can afford not to. So let's build a future where technology and nature thrive together. That's all from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Samriti Mahajan, for your presentation. It's very recent topic. So yes, we need AI and smart technology for achieving sustainable and circular practices in the long term. Yes, you are right. Now, let's one more speech, and Professor Dr. Teena Singh from New Delhi Institute of Management. She sent her presentation and video. Now I will share her video.
A very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for a wonderful opportunity to be part of the prestigious 4th International Marketing Summit. New Delhi Institute of Management is honored to partner in this summit. NDIM is a 33-year-old business school in New Delhi, India. It is awarded and recognized by the Government of India, AICTE, and the Business Chamber Confederation of Indian Industries as the best industry-linked management institute for 3 years in a row. We at NDIM believe in offering contemporary and futuristic tech-enabled MBA, which caters to the dynamic requirements of the industry. The theme of the summit today is extremely important, and I'm sure all of us would get to see some path-breaking research and innovative ideas. I, Dr. Teena Singh, Professor and Registrar at the New Delhi Institute of Management, am delighted to be part of this august gathering. Thank you so much for inviting me. My heartfelt gratitude to the stalwarts who made this summit happen. First and foremost, Professor Dr. Mumin Shaheen, the Rector of the TNK University. The Presidents, Dr. Razim, who is the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences at TKN University. Professor Dr. Ahmad from Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences, Business Administration, TKN University. And the organizing committee from TKN University, which has worked tirelessly for days to make this summit a resounding success, which includes Professor Dr. Seda from TKNU University, Associate Professor Dr. Senis, Dr. Hassan, Dr. Atag, and Dr. Sevi. And to my colleague from New Delhi Institute of Management, Associate Professor Dr. Samriti Mahajan. My congratulations to the organizing team. Best wishes ahead. I have been requested to share my thoughts on a very important theme, that is human-centered leadership in a tech-driven era. We are standing at a fascinating paradoxical moment for all businesses. Leading researchers state that we have more customer data than ever before. One can predict behavior with AI, automate workflows, and personalize at scale. Yet, the customer trust is declining. Employee engagement is falling, and people feel all the more disconnected from the brands more than ever, which is a sad reality. How is this possible? Mankind is struggling with the fact that we fell in love with the dashboard and the data and have forgotten